This was something that really lit a fire up my, for the longest time I felt like my language learning, my Mandarin learning progress has been sort of stagnant, has been sort of stuck in this intermediate plateau. Like I'm not really learning anything, like I'm not really making much progress at all. And then suddenly this past weekend, something clicked. I had the chance to meet up with a couple of old acquaintances who I'd not seen for a while, and they were all native speakers. And some of them mentioned that my Chinese had improved since the last time they saw me. They said I was speaking faster, more clearly, I was using more advanced words and phrases. And to me, this was a huge surprise. I mean, definitely an ego boost. It definitely helped my confidence. One of the most difficult parts about learning a language or learning Mandarin Chinese is maintaining motivation. I know we shouldn't be focusing on results. A lot of people say we should be focusing more on our output, our efforts, and how much we study every day, and we shouldn't be focusing on exam results and things like that. Those things we can't really control, but how much work did you put in? And I totally agree with that, but I think sometimes it does feel good to have a little bit of benchmark. Being able to see some sort of progress, something a little bit more concrete, I think does a lot for our motivation, even though it may be temporary, even though it is short lasting, it feels so good in the moment, and I think it can still add a lot of value. It gives us that extra motivation, that extra push to keep going forward. I would say for me, it was a little bit easier in the beginning as a beginner learning the language because there were very clear and distinct guidelines and goalposts where I could celebrate saying that I learned a certain number of words, I could express myself in a certain way. But as I got more and more intermediate, upper intermediate, more advanced, the gradations between progress become less and less obvious, become more obscure, become more minute and subtle, and it's a lot harder to quantify progress. I mean, you can still use things like vocabulary lists and exams like the HSK exam, but for me these have always been a little bit dry and boring, and it's questionable how much of this actually transfers into real life skill. So I've always liked to try to focus or to center my practice around real life experiences, practical experiences, where I have to, as much as possible, interact with native speakers and interact with the native language. And so some of these relationships that are often thrown around are things like language parents and language exchanges, but I think one that is not often mentioned is something that I call language acquaintances. And this is something that I coined. I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but essentially it's an acquaintance, a language acquaintance, someone who is a native speaker, but someone that you don't see often, someone that you don't speak to often. There was another time where I saw a good friend, Vincent, who I hadn't seen for a long time. He was a native speaker of Chinese, but he hadn't spoken to me in a long time. And what he said to me, I'll still remember to this day, because he said he thought that my Chinese language, my spoken ability had gotten worse since the last time I saw him. And this was a huge shock to me because I thought I was working hard, I was studying a lot, but this was something that really lit a fire up my, and it really motivated me to start learning more and to start challenging my regimen, my learning techniques, my skills. And obviously all feedback you have to take with a grain of salt, especially in this case where they're just seeing a snapshot version of you. They don't see you on a daily basis. But the benefit of a language acquaintance is very similar to the benefit of taking a picture if you're trying to lose weight, or taking a picture once a month. Day to day, you're probably not going to notice that significant of a change. Similar to your friends and family who see you very often, they're not going to notice a significant change in you. But if they see you a month later, they haven't seen you in a while, they're going to notice a drastic difference. If you meet someone new, yeah, sure, they're going to notice that your language ability may be very good, but they're not going to have that base point to compare to, so they're not going to know the difference. And so this is where language acquaintances are very useful, because you see them infrequently, but they have that baseline, and so they can give you that feedback as needed. And a lot of times this is something that is not prompted. I'm not asking them what they think about my Chinese, and it's something that if they feel they've seen a significant change, better or for worse, they're going to probably tell you. So I would encourage you to think about language acquaintances, think about trying to schedule something, whether it's a language exchange, language teacher through italki once a month, once every 6 months, to see how they think your progress is, whether it's good or bad. I think you're going to get some very valuable feedback. You can even film yourself once a month, every day if you can, but once a month, once every 6 months. And this is a great way to have that snapshot of seeing how well you're speaking from month 1 to month 6. If you feel like you're not really improving much, you're not really advancing much, you're stuck in this intermediate plateau, this is a great way to motivate yourself. If you like this video, you might like this short playlist I made of a bunch of other Chinese learning tips. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.